need you around me. Drank a lot tonight, I know. She can drive your car and you can roll. Take you where you wanna go. First off, I'ma start by saying this. God. Baby, won't you come my way? Got something I want to say. Can I keep you out of my bed? But first off, I'ma start by saying this. Yo, Joe! Hey! Car ain't got no roof. I can't hear you. Car ain't got no roof. We be in the city. In the city. On my with it. Oh, way up. Way up. Way up. Oh, way up. Way up. We be in the city. On my with it. Where you be at, bro? My in the city. My in the bitty. Yo, up in Rambo house. Blocks in that bando house. Come from Yucatan. You the man. You the man. I'm sitting up in it, do the man. Don't make me spray it, man. Pop, she get pop quick. No roof, this drop sick. Rock crew, we rock. Oh, way up. Oh, way up. You heard? Oh, she was drawing. Car ain't got no roof. I can't hear you. Car ain't got no roof. We be in the city. In the city. On my with it.
Mo Music Mo Radio.
I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Since you're pretty, soon as you came in the door. I just wanna chill, got a sack for us to roll. Married to the money, introduced her to my stove. Showed her how to whip and now she remixing for low. She my track queen, let her hit the bando. We be counting up, watch how far them bands go. We just set it go, talking matching Lambos. At 56 a gram, 500 grams though. Man, I swear I love her, how she work the damn pole. Hit the strip club, we be letting bands go. Everybody hate who we just call them fans though. In love with the money, I ain't never letting go. And I get high with my baby. I just left the mall, I'm getting fly with my baby, yeah. And I get ride with my baby. I be in the kitchen cooking pies with my baby, yeah. And I get ride with my baby. I just left the mall, I'm getting fly with my baby, yeah. And I get ride with my baby. I be in the kitchen.
All I really wanna see is the I don't really need a D, I need the all I back need is the I got pants in the coop, bustin' out the roof. I got pants in the coop, touch me, I'll shoot. Shake a little, you get a little bag and take it to the store. Get a little cash, you shake it real fast, you get a little more. I got pants in the coop, bustin' out the roof. I got pants in the coop, bustin' out the roof. It's all bad, it's all real. I ride in some big tall hills, big fat checks, big large bills, run out flip like 10 car wheels, cold. I get raw chills, 10 different looks, and my lips so kill. I kiss him in the mouth, I feel all grills. Eat in the car, jazz meals on wheels. Woo! I was born to flex, diamonds on my neck. I like boarding jets, I like more than sex. But nothing in this world that I like more than checks. All I really wanna see is the I don't really need a D, I need the all I back need is the I got pants in the coop, bustin' out the roof. I got pants in the coop, touch me, I'll shoot. Bash, 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 bash,
Some of the band draws, a little Anita, but definitely set this party right. want you to strip. See you is my new chick, so we get our grind on. She be grabbing, calling me Biggie like Shine on. And I'm putting fine on. Now she always lying on, telling me them diamonds when she know they lying on. Light skin friend look like Michael Jackson, got a dark skin friend look like Michael Jackson. Ready for the world, she was ready for some action. My dog said you ain't a freak, so you got to prove my man wrong. I'ma play this band draws, you gon' take your pants off. I'ma play this Gladys night, me and you gon' see it right. Some new band draws, a little bit needed, but definitely set this party
Yeah, you better not stop. You got 24 seconds, can you beat the shot up? What you waiting on, look at it, I ain't got that much time. You seem anxious, you seem adamant, but you ain't pressed my line. Wondering why? No, you ain't shy. I'ma say bye. Better know I won't think twice. Better let go of your pride. Do it now, just do it now. Oh yeah. When then pull up on me, tell them, baby, don't you know all of these niggas wish that they could back? I'm just saying, boy, you playing, you gon' let it wind down. You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now. Shot clock. Shot clock. Shot clock. Shot clock. 5 years of dating, tired of being patient. What the f you waiting for? Yeah, it's a lot of hate, and I don't entertain them. But damn, you gotta give me more. If you don't want it like me, I can think about 100 things I could be doing right now. Don't wasting my time with you. Okay, but you gotta have it your way. I'ma start that clock on you. We gon' see what's up when then pull up on me. Baby, don't you know all of these niggas wish that they could back? I'm just saying, boy, you playing, you gon' let it wind down. You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now. Shot clock. Shot clock. Shot clock. Shot clock. Shot clock. Shot clock.
Valentine or Bobby V. Yeah, blue collar dreams. You know the business. Rolling in my slab, headed to the club. Step up on the scene, ladies know what's up. Hating on me, but I know why. 'Cause I'm doing my thing, stepping in my J's. Shades check, real check, them stacks on deck. 23 sitting under my car. Who am I? Girl, you looking at a hood superstar. I say the coupe turn heads, the chains on ice. A young thoroughbred in that sit right. Dipping through the city, feeling on some the girls look good, but them boys so pretty. 6 on the kick, 7 on the shade. Ain't nobody tripping 'cause the money already made. Dipping through the night. I'm about to take flight. Look, mama, choose, I put that off in a light. These boys real stupid. I keep some coopish. Haters love to watch, so the beans come ruthless. Everything good and everything for size. I think they like my swag, man. That's why they all rolling in my slab. Headed to the club. Step up on the scene. Ladies know what's up. Hating on me, but I know why. 'Cause I'm doing my thing. Stepping in my J's. Shades check, real check, them stacks on deck. Side 23 sitting under my car. Girl, you looking at a
Hey, stop acting gangster on the ground. My street credit authentic, cap locks, you're a spam. Full of in a scope with ruffles in my hand. 2 rings, 80 bands, dripping Gucci, Dapper Dan. Got me fly like a kite, like a kite, like a kite, like a kite, like a kite. Took off out of sight. I can see the light. White house look just like heaven. Garage in my master bedroom, and the rave got Delta legroom. I don't with at all, like some white folks. You crazy? I'm a psycho. Ice that money, Michael. Yo, pockets lipo. He hurtin', get a medic. Pillow talking, that's pathetic. Nike dry fit, I ain't sweating it. Pay my ties with the 50s, wipe my with the the hundreds. First she loved me, then she dumped me. Wishy-washy like the laundry. Shooting dice like this Jumanji in the jungle with the monkeys. Grip her head, I'm her little scrunchy. Eat me up, she got the munchies. Then you tweet about one and then your other got mad at you. Yeah. Copy and paste in the same text like where the you going to? It's the same sending shots. He 0-2. I had his wife on his birthday. Think he knew it too. Bank account 3 commas. There's no typo. Gangsta grill, DJ drummer. My teeth a light show. Told them get from around me. Spread out. That's a ISO. I can't let them cross me up. What's that called? That's a IVO. I'm ballin' though. Stop acting gangsta on the ground. Stop. My street credit authentic, cap locks, you're a spam. Paper. Full of in a scope with ruffles in my hand. 2 rings, 80 bands, dripping Gucci, Dapper Dan. Got me.
Swoop that thing up, mommy, make it roll. Once you pop, lock it for me, girl, get low. If your mama gave it to you, baby girl, let it show. Once you pop, drop it for me, maybe we can roll. Oh!
Pop, lock, and drop it. 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 Pop, lock, and drop it.
Tonight is gonna be some changes, no acting sedity, so stop acting and get it clapping, cause I'm knowing you feel me. Yeah, you cute, but don't let that shit go to your head, cause what this cutie won't do pimping, another one will. You prefer rocking the skirt and your heels so tall, and we ain't with none of that tricking, but I feel so tall. I've been peeping you for a while, and you throwing it back. If you looking for you a baller, we got dough in the back. Look, your color Carmelo Brown, and your skin so smooth. I'm having fantasies about what you and me can do, and you a undercover freak, you probably thinking the same. I'm seeing light up on your face because you're peeping my chain, and I ain't trying to put you out there as if you a freak, so don't even take it that way. Just say you did it for me, and you will probably roll with me, cause there's money in my pocket, so before then I gotta see you pop, lock, and drop it. Shoot that thing up, mommy, make it roll. Once you pop, lock it for me, girl, get slow. With your mama, gave it to you, baby girl, let it show. Once you pop, drop it for me, baby, we can roll.
Chick. Pay me in equity. Watch me reverse out of dicks. He got a bad chick. We live in lavish. I get expensive fabrics. I got expensive habits. He wanna go with me. He likes to roll with me. He wanna be with me. He wanna give me that vitamin D. Ice ornaments. Ice style ornaments. You ain't on to this. Don't think they on to this.
It's official.
1, 2,
It's
3.
official.
We're here for a particular reason.
Time to put the kids to bed.
And that reason is
It's time for the full 180.
What's up, y'all? This is your boy. Hey, we getting in. This is the full 180 Convo. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in right now. We just want to give a shout out first, to God Almighty. First off and foremost, man, He helps us to do everything that we do. Also, we want to thank you for Mo Music, Mo Radio, for helping us authenticate this thing, man. And just want to pass it on. We want to introduce our people that we got on the set with us. We are always on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s and 6s. We got. And the 79s and the 69s, it depends on what, that's your boy, holla at your boy. I ain't gonna put it out there like that. We got the infamous DJ Legends. Lahin is what I call him on the streets, DJ Legend. Again, we got to my right and to your left, depends on how you looking. We got L Boogie in the house. And myself, Pastor Pretty Reggie. We got to my left, to your right, we got KCZ in the house. KC, JoJo. Swing. And we got always depend on Dr. Brizzy.
What's up?
Hey, I'll never, ever want to forget my favorite brother, my brother from another mother, my uncle from another auntie, my grandpa from another grandmama, DJ. Tricky in the house, So, in the house. Everyone's. But, we gonna bring y'all, the real authentic as we always do, man. We break it from the heart, we break it from the core, we break it from the spirit. We bring our truths, and we hope y'all can relate. And I feel like y'all can relate. Majority of these conversations is something that y'all want to talk about, something that y'all actually probably talked about, and then we actually expressed it. You're like, man, I was just thinking about that.
Right.
So that's what we do. But right now we're going to pass it on to the mistress, KC, ministeress, not the mistress, but the ministeress, elder, deaconess.
None of those.
KC for the church announcements. Give it up.
My soul.
My
And here
soul.
goes Now everybody makes CDs.
Don't do me.
Hello, saints, ain'ts, and others. I am coming to you with the full 180 Convo Church announcements. There's that music. That's my song right there.
That is.
Okay, so y'all, we are still promoting our sponsorship and promo packages. We have a weekly package that is $50. It is a 60-second ad played 4 times a day. It is a 20-minute spotlight on your business and organization and a guest appearance on 2 of our shows. We also have a monthly package of $150. It's the 60-second ad played 4 times a day. It's 2 20-minute spotlight on your business and organization and a guest appearance on 2 of our shows as well. And then for those private investors, you can email us at thefull180convo@gmail.com. Again, it is for the private investors. The email address again is thefull180convo@gmail.com. And we have some more announcements. We have a DFW Small Business Vendor Expo that is coming up with Brother Antoine White. That is on March the 27th at the Music City Mall there in Louisville. It is between 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. And it's also sponsored by the Young Black Entrepreneurs as well. So if you need to get in contact with Antoine, please call him at 314-630-4465. I went to one that he did and it was absolutely amazing. So if you are a small vendor, again, the number is 314-630-4465. Give him a shout to let him know that you're interested in whatever your business is. We also, the crew is very excited. We are doing a live show for the Juneteenth celebration this year.
Yes.
On June the 19th. And it is being thrown by the Elite News. We had Mr. Belair in a few weeks back, or actually about a couple of weeks back, and he was phenomenal here on the show. Gave us a lot of insight, especially for Black history as well. So if you have nothing to do on June 19th, even if you do, come out, get some good content, enjoy Juneteenth, because that's Black Music Month.
Yes.
So you know we all about Black music.
There you go.
And again, it is on June the 19th at Fair Park, starting at 11 a.m. I know there will be other events going on combined in one, so let's partake in all of them, guys. Then we have our very own DJ Tricky giving us the good life rooftop vibes at Harlow and Deep Ellum on March the 19th at 9 p.m. So if you like me and you're a little older, go on and get a nap before it's time to kick it. But again, it's the Good Life Rooftop Vibes there at Harlow, and our very own DJ Tricky will be on the ones and twos, giving us the good music he usually does. Also, we have Speed for Sneed. And again, I'm going to let Lisa, like she did on Monday, elaborate a little about it. I know it's a non-for-profit organization, so Lisa can give a little bit more information.
Speed for Sneed is a organization that we put together to recognize or to take up money to find a cure for non-Hodgkin lymphoma, which is what my son had. He passed of it at 18 years old, his senior year. So we are trying to bring awareness of it, and so we're hosting a football camp for ages 6 to 12. It's for the Dallas, Arlington, and Fort Worth youth. We will come back and tell you exactly where it's going to be. Again, and the date, because I keep forgetting to bring the date. So we'll get the date and we'll get the times and everything for it. So look forward to Speed for Sneed Foundation in honor of Paul Jasper Sneed being such a really great event in the future. So
perfect. Thank you so much, Lisa. We also have our sponsors for today. It's TCAP, the very own Bishop Jones and Lady Jones over there off of Wichita Street in Fort Worth. If you guys are interested in some good word and you want to get some good word, you want to be fed some meat, get over there to TCAT with Bishop Jones and Lady Jones. Their services start at 10:30 a.m. And there's one thing that we're going to implement today. It's called Wisdom Wednesday. And it was sent to me today, and I really liked it. And it says, people don't realize how much of a privilege it is to be a part of someone's life and journey until you on the outside trying to get in again. Crapping on authentic people is never it. And I thought that was good. We got to take that in. Let that be some wisdom for us today.
yeah.
So if there are no more announcements, please govern yourselves
accordingly. We want to thank y'all again, man. Thank you, KC. Thank you, sponsors. Again, if you are just tuning in, you are tuning into the full 180 Convo, man. You know, we bring it to you live and uncut sometimes. You know, sometimes the cut may cut you, and sometimes it may cut us. Sometimes we need Band-Aids for our own wounds. You know, he may put a little peroxide on it, you know, put a little alcohol on it, put a little put some water on it. If you ain't got no alcohol, you know, put some watermelon on it.
May sting a little bit. Yeah.
Put some mustard on it. You know, I didn't realize. You know what? You know, it's so Cece had burned herself the other day. I didn't realize that you could put mustard on on a real bad burn, and it helps it helps the skin to not really pulse up.
Really?
Put mustard. So if you burn yourself, put some mustard on it.
I didn't know that.
Put some straight up mustard.
Mustard. They use mustard for everything.
Yeah, mustard.
You use mustard for high blood pressure.
I mean, cause she
everything.
She put the mustard on there, and then she put the after it kind of healed. Cause I could tell when she originally did it, it was like real deep. You know, when she was trying to grab some chicken out the oven. And she was like, I had to immediately put some mustard on it, otherwise, like, it would have pulsed up, and then it would have got like really, really bad. So I was like, yeah.
Learn something new.
Learn something new. So if you burn yourself, put some mustard on it. But if you burn yourself another way, go to the doctor. All right, y'all. So speaking of that, hey y'all, the first half we're gonna jump right on in is how to, and we have been. I know I have. I ain't gonna lie to you. We've been in some strange, type of relationships where there may be a marriage, may be, the holiday hookup that turned into something else. How to exit a toxic relationship.
Well, don't y'all look at me because I'm
ain't no darts being thrown at you today.
I'm just gonna listen today.
How do you exit? Well, look, and to me, honestly, though, it's almost a twofold. How do you exit and how do you recognize? If you think about it, how do you recognize that you're actually in some kind of toxicity type of relationship? Because sometimes people don't even really know, and it's like, man, this person is really pulling you into something. They actually, you're not really being yourself. And
well, let me say this. Go with this because some people are stuck in business relationships. And some people are stuck in friendship relationships, and marital and girlfriend and boyfriend. So let's look at this from all aspects. Is what I'm asking. Because some people are stuck in business relationships that they cannot get out of, and they're toxic. But they don't know how to get out of it because they have so much involved. I mean, you got a whole business. How do you tell your business partner we not? How do you tell your husband? How do you tell your best friend? So I just thought we'd put that out there. Everybody look at it from just not a relationship.
But like he said, when you're not yourself and you feel something different, you don't feel joy, you feel like you're being drained, or you feel, incomplete. That's how you kind of know that something's not right. And after you've checked yourself and realized that maybe it's not me, it may be the other person, or you both could be toxic for each other.
Yeah.
I know I was in a situation where we were best friends, enemies, lovers, hated each other, cheated on each other, to the point where it got physical. And I felt like I was in that movie enough. Like, I was plotting, like, okay, Lord, I don't know if he gonna take me out. It's my last day, but we gotta end this. I'm going down with a fight. Yeah. You're not just, this has to end today. Whether I die, he die, we go to jail, whatever, we gotta get out. And that was it. It was done.
And I'm just like, relationships shouldn't be like that. I mean, I was in one, and I told her, I said, I have never argued. I ain't argued.
Don't you get tired?
Argued? I ain't never argued so much in my life, and I'm not an argumentative person. I mean, I'm pretty cool, laid back cat. Us Libras, we tend to be, laid back and cool. We don't really get off into, just major. We don't like drama, honestly. Right. We pretty much just like, we avoided the confrontation versus always trying to be in the confrontation. So I was actually in one where it was just constant every day, and constitute like attitudes, constant, just fights and arguments. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with you today?
So why? I have a question for that.
Why did I choose that?
I have a friend. Well, this is the thing. Been in this relationship with these two people been in a relationship, and this is real. They've been in a relationship going on 15 years. Now, they haven't been married. They haven't gotten married to each other, nothing. Relationship is toxic. They break up to make up. They'll break up for 3 months. They'll get back together. And both of them are saying that they're tired of arguing. So what's the ultimate goal of the relationship? Right. And you find yourself explaining where you go and explaining why you did this or why you detoured. I'm this type of person. If you tell me what your plans are for the day, if it detour from that plan, you ain't got to explain that to me. Just make sure you at Z by the time at the end of the day. So why do people choose to stay in a relationship that long?
It's comfortable and you don't want to start over. That's
They're not even living together though.
We were living together, and it was easier on me as far as like the financial thing. It was comfortable. I had really low self-esteem, so for me it felt like, oh, he really wants me. The reason why he's so passionate, the reason why he's calling me every 5 minutes and texting me and all this other stuff, I really thought that's what love was, because I didn't love myself enough to recognize that that's not really what it's supposed to be.
I think sometimes, you know, and I can speak on two stories where a friend of mine, you know, Boo, you know, he was
R.I.P. Chris.
Yeah, man, R.I.P. man. He was definitely in a toxic relationship, turned into a toxic marriage, and then ends up losing his life.
Oh my.
You know, so I mean, it was, and he didn't lose his life by somebody that he didn't know. It was, of course, you know, he was the person he was married to. You know, and I'm just like, you know, why do you continue to try to stay in something? Like, sometimes we get off into this, like, I can fix them, you know, and that was him. And sometimes I think that felt like that was me, because I was like, okay, well, maybe I can try to, you know, shine some light on somebody. I can show her, you know, some love. I can show her this. I can show him that. And I'm steady pouring myself out. I'm empty. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, when you over exuberate yourself, and it's like you're not even you no more, because you didn't put all yourself out, and this person, she ain't even really trying to change.
So there was a situation I was in, went on and off for years, and a part of the reason why I didn't leave is because I put so much work into it. And I thought to myself, there's no way I'm going to do all this praying, give all this love for the next woman to come and reap the best of him that I felt like I made.
Right.
And it still didn't get any better. And we went back and forth for years, and I had to learn to leave him even in love. And that was what was, excuse me, it was hard.
Yeah. But
my heart was broken. It was too much for me, even physically. My body was changing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to love you. I'm going to have to be in love with you by myself.
Right.
And I left. I made the mistake of jumping right into a relationship to repair the heart, and that didn't work either. Toxic. But that's what I did. So I think a lot of people, if you are out there and it's a back and forth situation, kind of even like you said, not living in the same home, been together for 15 years, if you're going to stay, this is just my opinion, if you're going to stay, say to each other, okay, what do we need to do now? Let's put our cards on the table. We arguing, we fussing, we fighting. We're not leaving each other. So now where do we go to where we get past this hurt of us saying, okay, I'm not leaving you, you're not leaving me, but what's keeping us here?
Right.
What's going to make us get over this part? Am I not listening to you? Are you not listening to me? And if that turns into an argument, let's be grown enough to say, you know what, this is too much. Because sometimes the heart isn't even involved anymore. Like Bree said, you're just comfortable. This is what I know, and I'd rather have I'd rather have an old food than a new food.
Yeah.
But so Anna Mae 84 says some people don't recognize that it's toxic.
Right.
So I said to her, this is true, but is it that you don't want to because of not wanting to be alone? Because some people,
it's a projection of your you're not being full, like your cup is empty, or you I can't think of the word right now, but it's just a projecting of your insecurity sometimes.
So do you really think that's, because I hear people say that all the time about staying in relationships, staying in business, staying here because of low self-esteem or because you don't feel full. Is it really that? Because we can't keep blaming it on that.
I think it's more of, like you were saying earlier, you done put so much in.
Yes.
You invested so much. Like for me, I invested so much even though it wasn't real. The marriage wasn't real, but I was I was in it because I was like, okay, I'm invested. I did love her. I felt like she loved me, but all in all, it was a fake representation of the whole thing.
But at the time, you didn't know that, though.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't know that. And it's
But I
just
still think it comes back to, like she said, when you pour and pour and pour, and you start to feel like, okay, nothing's changing, you in turn start to feel like you're failing.
Sometimes.
So it's still, sometimes, and so it still feels like, you start to question yourself sometimes, like, am I doing enough? If sometimes it gets to that point. A lot of times it gets to that point.
When it comes to low self-esteem and insecurities, I think it does play a part in it. Me personally, once you have dealt with who you are and you see your worth, it's until then you will deal with that kind of stuff. Once you figured out who you are, what you're capable of, I don't really need you to be great. That's when you break away from it. But as long as there's low self-esteem and insecurities there, you will take some stuff you shouldn't even take.
and it's crazy how you say that, because for me, when it happened and that person said, "Oh, I don't want you no more," it just clicked. All right, well, I'm out. Got my stuff and I was gone. Cause it wasn't nothing else for me to keep. Nothing else for me to.
But were you
It
feeling
wasn't
that
this.
way already though? Were you feeling something like she says at some point?
I wasn't feeling that way, but when a person looked at me dead in my face and I knew how she was, when she looked at me dead in my face, say, "I don't want you no more. I feel like we just friends. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that." It just clicked in my head. I was out. I went back to that old Charles where, hey, I was out. I don't even figure no more. Greg, you know what I'm talking about?
And it's kind of almost like you take an account. It's like all of a sudden, the years you spent speeds up. Like from year one to however many years until you hear that one thing. And it's like a flashback immediately comes. You like, oh, you don't want me? Bye. Because I didn't already dealt with this, and that. I'm good. I'm not dealing with that no more.
I want to make sure that because that recognition of a toxic is real critical, because if you are arguing more than you happy, if you feel like, let's say you got a part-time job or something like that, and you're like, well, I'd rather be at work than at home, or is this person does not take ownership for what they do, and they always playing the victim role. It's like they never do anything wrong, and you sitting up here like, it's you. Sometimes you may something down back and like, okay, it may be me, but majority of the time it's like, nah, man, and pay attention to who they're associated with. Do they get along with their friends? Do
they have family members?
Do they get along with their mama? Do they get along with their father? Do they it's certain ways that you can figure out, like, I may be off into something that is toxic.
Right. Let me add one thing. My mama always told me, you just have to make a decision. You see it right in front of you. Once you recognize certain things, you have to make a decision. Are you going to stay in there and deal with it, or are you going to leave and do something different? And it just comes down to that.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, y'all. You are listening to the full 180. Thank y'all for chiming in. Put in your comments like they do. Put in your questions. Put in your concerns. We're going to talk about it. We're going to rap about it. Let's get it. We'll be right back.
I know a little bitch by the name Chanel. Always wearing Louis but fake Chanel. I'm just trying to like Chip and Dale. That's some fun like Dave Chappelle. It's all in my mail. How you get out early, you ain't make that bail. Snitching ain't free, but all you do is tell. I heard you Breaking Bad, but the won't sell. Yeah, all in your mama car. With no, she can't make work, son, you dumb hell. Need to get them with long nails to scratch your back and cook my meals. I got G's on the block. Just on the, it ain't a house party till somebody get shot. 150 in the pot, play the scene, they gon' flop. Have a all-white party, cause hanging off the yacht. Banging, pistol, you too small and little. I came with my tongue out, I'm up the what you? It's mental, it's too good, I sent for. Run up all in it, I'ma be it for a minute. and she bounce that back. My dog tryna knick-knack, give a dog a patty back that, yeah, bounce it on my lap.
She's a real ish, please.
I tell her arch that back. My dog tryna knick-knack, give a dog a patty back that, yeah, bounce it on my lap.
She's a real ish, please.
This ain't rap, and rap ain't this. Tell her shut the up. My she a real please emote your face. My she likes and nothing else but she eat it like candy or sweet. This fits my rim size satellites. That's a deep dish. Money thinner than a no relationships. We ain't developing.
Event and you really want to set your event apart from others, call Chef Lisa at Elite Treat. Chef L has been catering and preparing pastries since 2003. Being self-taught, she has dedicated herself to learning the tastes and textures of food, from soul food to Cajun to good old home cooking. Chef L takes pride in seeing her clients' face light up when they taste the food and the comfort it brings. Don't delay. Book Chef L today. You can reach out to Chef Lisa on IG at Elite Treat. That's ELITE_TREETZ. Once again, that's ELITE_TREETZ. Contact her today and make your special event elite.
It's official.
1, 2, 3. We're here for a particular reason.
Time to put the kids to bed.
And that reason is...
It's time for the full 180.
What's up? Welcome back, everybody, to the full 180 on the Mo Music Radio. We are going to go into our health tip. Mine isn't really for food, but since it is Women's Awareness Month, which I never knew that till that March was. But anyway, we're going to talk about depression. So signs of depression, because a lot of women go into depression and we don't realize that we're depressed. So some of the symptoms are feeling sad, we sleep too much or too little, we feel tired, we feel nervous or cranky, we cry a lot, we eat too much or we eat too little. We feel guilty, we feel helpless, trouble paying attention. We notice that things used to make us happy don't make us happy anymore, and we think about death or we try to kill ourselves. So find somebody. I say all that to say, if you are feeling any of those symptoms, please find somebody to talk to. If it's a friend, family member that you trust, or seek medical attention. It's real. We have a lot of stuff going on. We've all been locked in the house for 365 days plus. I think it was it should be the next week will be a year, right? I mean, relationships are on the board. Kids are getting on your nerves. Job, everything is compacted into 4 walls. So let's take some time to evaluate ourselves, evaluate our diets, of course, exercise to release some stress, drink plenty of water. And if none of that works, please seek some type of help. There's help out there. There's people that are listening to help you get through the things that you're going through. That's my tip for today.
That's a good tip, Lisa.
Yes.
Okay, well, if you are just tuning in to the full 180, we have been talking about how to exit a toxic relationship. So we're going to continue to elaborate on that for a little bit. I don't know if anyone has chimed in. Lisa, has anybody sent any messages?
Anime84, she says, hello, Kenyatta. Yes. Anime84 said, what do you do about toxic people in your family?
Oh, that's a good one, because it's not always relationships.
Right.
Like I said, it could be a mother-daughter. It could be any kind of relationship. Right. Look, I have learned family, friends, foe, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You have to do what's best for you when it comes to ridding people out of your life that causes you nothing but pain. I don't care who they are, because DNA doesn't always make you family.
Right.
That's right.
Not all the time.
And DNA does not always make it right. First of all, we have to realize too, and me and my friend Tawana talks about this all the time. Daddy issues and mama issues can play a role in how healthy your relationships are. So until you mend those relationships, or you just, and when I say mend, that doesn't mean y'all sit across the table and eat together, which is one of your quotes I think on Monday. We ain't got to eat together, but we have to come to some type of senses to say, hey, this is how I feel, whether you accept it or not, because in a black family, let's just admit, it's very rare to none that you get to sit down and say, you hurt my feelings, mama.
Right.
Or daddy, you did me dirty. So we have that generational curse of respect, I should say, where we are not allowed to voice our opinions. So you have to mend those relationships, whether that means walk away or figure out a way to just agree to disagree.
I think too, also, I want to kind of piggyback on going back onto the relationship part of everything. When you have kids, some people feel like, well, I have to be there because of the kids, and I'm just like, man, I'm not, I'm not telling nobody, go ahead and bounce out. Make sure you have an exit strategy, but at the same time, if this relationship is causing that much stress, and you got kids, of course, you done slipped up, you done did something, now you got kids. But that don't mean that you really have to be with that person.
Right.
And especially in a marriage when you got kids, I feel like we gotta do it for the kids, but you instead of killing yourself.
Sure, I left because of my children, though.
Yeah.
At 1 and 4 years old, my son was talking to my daughter. He was an exact mirror of what we were, and I had to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some existence with getting out of there, but I had to go because I thought to myself, how can I tell my son and my daughter to not have this kind of relationship if they walk into these kind of people? If she allows a man to talk crazy to her, and or she talks crazy to him, and he is verbally abusive to him, I don't want to hear their significant others come to me and say, "Woo, your child this and your child that." How do I say something to them knowing that's the presentation that I gave them growing up? So I had to say, you know what, for the betterment of them in their adult life, I got to get away from this.
I agree with that. I was just sitting here thinking, I've been kind of quiet because I'm reflecting and, just thinking about my situation in my marriage. The devil really tried to take me down when I was going through my toxic relationship. My ex-husband and we have a good relationship now. We're cool. I love his fiance and all that. We have a good relationship now. But when we were together before I left, I had thoughts, you want to stay for the kids. You want to stay for the kids. I had thoughts of removing the kids so that wouldn't be an issue. And when I say removing, I mean like me taking my kids out of the situation to not only hurt him, but to also keep me from staying, because I felt like that was the only reason why I was staying. But it was just the devil was really working on me at that time, and I just really had to just pack them up and go. I felt like if I had stayed, we all probably would have been gone.
And those types of relationships just ain't verbal, like they're physical.
Absolutely.
And I tell people all the time, I came from an abusive home. My dad, and I say it online because it's true, he beat my mama's butt from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, and so I grew up watching my mom physically get beat, and I had this demeanor that if you start talking to me crazy, I'm gonna get you before you get me, because I thought all men were like that, And so when I did get into a domestic situation where hands were placed, I felt like I couldn't call my dad, and that's a horrible feeling. So sometimes you have to recognize those things that we put back on a shelf and say, you know what, it happened to my mom, it didn't happen to me. Just because he's not hitting you, it's still toxic.
Sure, at the end of the day. And I think being in toxic relationships, they're either going to soften you where you are brittle and you will keep repeating toxic relationship are just going to make you hard as nails.
Yes.
And you won't receive any relationship. So it's just a trickle down effect of people being different. Like growing up, me and my sister handled my dad's absence totally different from one another. So you may have a woman again that it softens her and she'll stay in it for a long time, or you'll have a man that's rough as nails, can't nobody penetrate his heart because it was that one toxic relationship, or a female, that one toxic relationship where he said or she said, I'm done, I'm never falling in love, I'm not dealing with my feelings, I can love you and never tell you. All because that one situation scorned them for life. We have to be very careful
about that.
And it's interesting you said that, because I felt like I was getting into toxic relationship after toxic relationship after toxic relationship, and after a while, like, it made me hard. Like, I was like, I'm about to be the dude now, because I'm not about to keep going through this. Not that all men are like that, but in my experience,
that's
like,
what you think.
I'm gonna give it back to him.
Your perception, your perception was like your reality. Like, what you saw, that's what you thought. That's what everybody was, you know. And especially, and again, you know, when you have a household and you got, you know, you have sons, you have daughters, you know, it takes a lot of courage, you know, as that parent that is going through something like that to leave. I mean, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage because you know, you feel like, well, I'm thinking that I don't want to hurt my child or my children because I'm there. In reality, if you stay there, you're hurting them more.
Yes.
You know, because they gotta grow up with that stuff.
Well, let me say this: we got up many a nights, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, piling up in aunties' cars or friends' cars and going to spend a night at somebody's house just for my dad to come back and get us back. We're good for a week. We back getting up in the middle of the night again. I remember it like it was yesterday, and it was always. She said she stayed for us. But you still there. Now, my dad's nothing like he used to be. Let me say that. Let me clear that up. Nothing. Did a full 180. Let me tell you, he's the most sweetest, loving man. And he was back then, too. But you use the kids to stay in a situation, and it goes back to them. I'm the soft one. My sister's the hard one. You know, she beat them in. So I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. She beats her in, like, and she'll tell you as soon as that nigga say something. Oh, Negro, I'm sorry. Y'all know how I give her go wrong. I'm sorry about music. She ready to punch him. Like, you just sometimes you don't know. You think because you grew up, you got out the house, you're over it, but you take that hurt and that baggage into another relationship.
Yes, indeed.
So you gotta watch that. Kenyatta says, oftentimes we are doing the children more than good. We're also teaching them that what relationships look like.
Indeed. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's not a great example, you know, to the child, you know, because now you're creating a generational cycle, you know, versus a cycle for your own self. You're creating a generational cycle, so now your son and your daughter feel like, well, okay, I guess it's okay for me to be treated like this. And it's like, no, their parent got to stand up. They got to break the cycle. You know, go ahead.
I wanted to add something earlier. I think the reason why I stayed, or the reason why it was so hard for me to leave, is that I didn't want to fail at the marriage.
Yes.
And it was also in my head that I was supposed to stay because I wasn't spiritually connected. I didn't understand what being submissive actually was. I was 20 when I got married, so I didn't understand what being submissive meant. I thought that I would have to just do whatever my husband said do. You know what I mean? And so it started to make me resentful, and I didn't leave because it was, in my mind, this is forever. I'm supposed to stay. I went before God and all of my family and promised to stay through everything. And so I wanted to stay because I didn't want that judgment of, oh, you left your husband.
Sure. See, mine is failure right now. I feel like leaving what I'm in right now, I'm failing. I'm a failure. You know, when you've been married once or twice and here you are back at the same thing you came from, a divorce, you do feel like a failure. And so you try to fix it. And so until you recognize that your marriage is not about everybody else looking in, that it's about you, then I think you can make a conscious decision to leave. And I don't think I've gotten there yet, but I'm getting there. Because the biggest thing is, dang, you start looking at the common denominator. She divorced twice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And so if I'm thinking, I go to I meet somebody and they're like, okay, so yeah, I'm divorced twice. What do men think? They're thinking like, dang, 2 men left you.
Right, and that's so crazy that you say that, because it can continue.
So do you
continue to stay in a toxic relationship,
yes,
knowing you should be out of there.
Right.
And that's so funny because, like Bree says, sometimes we allow Satan, because we got to give him the permission, but we allow him to trick us up so much, thinking about, I've been married twice, who's gonna want me? And then we start, especially women, we start playing with the way we look.
Yes.
Oh, I don't feel pretty no more. I don't feel cute no more. Oh, I didn't picked up weight.
Because you
I'm
grew
too
fat with that
skinny.
last one.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many things that we continue to do to ourselves. And I'm not a man, so I don't know if you guys do it. I'm sure you do. But speaking for some women, I know we immediately tack ourselves. We don't go to the other person and say, you know what, this really isn't us. This is a you thing, and this is your situation. When you've been in it and you're dealing with so many other things, again, women go so hard on us. We will tear ourselves down where we used to be hair done all the time, nails done all the time, makeup done all the time. You go from probably wearing makeup once every day to once a week because you don't feel pretty no more.
Well, when I first left my first marriage after 28 years, that was the first thing I said to my counselor when I went. When I tell this man I've been married for 28 years, what is he going to think? 28 years, you fully vested. How do you split up after 28 years of marriage?
And a lot of people think that's crazy because I'm sorry, I'm honest. Until I really realized that it could happen, I could not fathom relationships breaking up
after 20, that years.
25, 30 years. I was like, how do you break up?
How do you break up? So when you break up like that, you're sitting here thinking you're already molded. I mean, he's molded. He may not recognize it. She's molded. She may not recognize it until you get into another relationship. And you're like, dang, I was used to X, Y, Z. And really and truly it was not until my homeboy over there actually made me look at it and say, I told you this today, I do throw my ex-husband up a lot because I was molded, to the way he handled things, from bills to this and that. You're not talking about 5 years. You're talking about 28 years. That was half of my adult life. Wow. How do you turn it off? How do you break the mold? And how do you remold yourself for somebody else? So now you are toxic. I'm toxic.
Wow. And you gotta recognize when you're toxic.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of people, again, I think somebody said it earlier, where we're so busy looking at the other people being toxic and bringing that to us, we don't recognize that we're toxic. So y'all, we're gonna take a short break, and we will be right back with you. I think we should continue with this toxic conversation because I'm sure we're absolutely helping somebody out there. Yeah. So again, we'll be right back, guys.
I see when I like you seen him twirl, then he drop it. And we keep them to my block. And Monte keep it on him, he done drop it. And he be wildin', he some hot. Tones known to get busy with them. Try to run down and you could catch it. Running through these checks till I pass out. And shorty give me neck till I pass out. I swear to God, all I do is cash out. And if you ain't a, get up on my tripod.
Mo Music Mo Radio.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We are going to go ahead and come back with the thought of the day in honor of Women's History Month. I thought I'd bring you some strong thoughts. Men, think about this for the women. Women, think about this for yourself. A woman is like a tea bag. Not that kind of tea bag. But you never know how strong. See? Y'all. Come on now. Come on. You never know how strong she is until she gets in hot water. And that is from Miss the legendary Eleanor Roosevelt. So with that thought, just know that a woman may seem like she's just really, soft and she's studying you. She's assessing the situation, and don't think just because she's meek or she's quiet that she's not strong at the same time. And just because you may not feel strong today, the fact that you even recognize something new about yourself or recognize something that's going on, that makes you stronger each time.
True that. Yeah, I was just saying today that we as women and men, it's just in general, how feedback and we're piggybacking, should I say, after you're saying, police don't take for granted when somebody loves you. Mm-hmm. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because if they are just allow them to be in. Don't dissect it. I wonder. Just let it be what it's going to be. Because when it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. And it's going to be hard to get it back.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that was a good one, Grace.
Thank you.
I like that. The whole tea bag thing and being in hot water. I like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
You know,
No, I really do like that.
That's good.
I'm visual, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we was talking about the toxic relationship, and I was sharing with the crew when we got off, when you realize you're toxic, it's really hard to come into a relationship and say, hey, you just have to be that person to say, hey, I have a lot of stuff going on. This is what's blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to need you to be something to me that somebody else wasn't. And I know for me, like 28 years of being married, I didn't know anything else. I was molded into this one man. So when I did get with someone else, he didn't come in and show me anything else to break that mold. So my expectations of what he needed, of what I needed him to give me, was only what I was molded into. Mm-hmm. So unless you can come in and say, hey, I got you, and like you said, show me, because words mean nothing, then the mold can never come off. I mean, the expectations are what they are after 28 years, and you have to realize that you cannot take that in. So today I did say to myself, I am toxic. Until some man comes in and says, Lisa, I got you, and show me they got me, all I know is what I've been molded into. So grab me, take me, bump me up against the wall, crack me open, whatever you need to do, and say, I got you.
Right.
And mean it. And don't tell somebody that have been down a road. This is females to males and males to females. Don't use my hurt against me.
Right. And
don't come in and try and tell me you gonna work with me, you gonna fix me, because y'all all say this is expiration day, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Help me get there before the expiration day end, and stick in there. And if you realize after talking to me you cannot do that, move on.
Right.
Be a gentleman and say, hey, or be a female's a nice young lady, whatever, gentile, whatever, and say, hey, I can't do you.
Be a gentlewoman.
Yeah, gentlewoman. Yeah. I can't do you, dude. She used to rub your feet. I can't rub feet. I don't like feet. Just put that on up, put it out there instead of sitting here listening to him saying all the things that he wants, and then you try to be who she wants, but it's not you, or be who he wants, and it's not you, because eventually what happens, you get tired of your representative. So if you tell me that's what you like and I do it for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, and then here we are on the 30th, I don't want to do it, then it really ain't me. So don't do that.
Yeah, it definitely takes patience, because it's something that me and KC were just talking about. Just like, what if I am telling you, like, let's say, you're that person that got out of that, and it's like, okay, now you meet me, and I'm trying to tell you, I got you, but yet and still, and I'm showing you and I'm telling you, and you like, nah, you ain't trying to help me. Because you still stuck.
You still tunnel vision on that old.
Stuck. You still tunnel vision. So sometimes with that, before, honestly, and this is my advice on it, before somebody actually, when you just came out of a relationship like that, give yourself time to heal. So you won't actually try to burn that person that really is your blessing.
But do you
Seek
really
therapy.
think it's healing?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like that's healing. I feel like that's for me. I feel like that's just what I know a man is supposed to do. If I've never been with any other man in a serious relationship, how do I know what to expect when that's all I've seen? So if you're not coming in taking care of me, which is one of the questions, did you give him a fair chance to? Yes. It's the little things, changing my oil, checking the air pressure on my tire, mowing the grass, doing the things that are simple things. I'm not asking you to come in and massage me or pay bills or let me stay home and be a housewife, which I was. I'm asking you to do the simple things. If you can't do the simple things, then you can't do anything major for me.
And so that's a key thing that you say, I'm asking you to. Sometimes I know that I have been expecting it to happen because that's what I've been used to. And then when it didn't happen, I was upset about it, but I didn't communicate that that's what I wanted or that's what I needed. At the same time, I've been on the other side of it where I was supposed to be certain things and change to do certain things and, not asked to do things, but just expected to. And it became an issue. So we always keep saying this communication.
The grass grows. It needs to be mowed. I ain't got to tell you that.
Well,
my tire on flat.
Well,
I ain't got to go out there and tell you to air it up.
We're not talking about
I'm saying simple
like
things. I'm saying simple things.
But that's not the only thing that's gonna make you happy. Because like you say, I'm not speaking for you, but I'm just saying in general. You're saying you want somebody to do some of the things that you're used to, but what about some of those? Are you open to seeing some of those other things that you aren't used to?
So, and that's what I was going to say. Not necessarily changing yourself, but do you believe, especially coming out of a toxic relationship, should you reprogram yourself for the next person?
Right.
Do you say, hey, this is what this was or is, but what is the, and not that you know what this new thing is going to be, but it's almost like you have to alter yourself, shift your mind and say, hey, this is not this is not that, this is not her, this is not him. So I get what you're saying, but I still think we need to get to a point from one relationship to the next where we start internally before we externally do anything, and we miss that so much.
Right. And it's like for me, I knew when I got out, I knew that first, I said I gotta find a therapist because I knew myself, I knew how my worth, I felt like my worth is way more than what I felt. And so that's why I knew I needed therapy, just to make sure I get to where I want to be myself again so I can get better with that next person.
Sure. So Kenyatta said, but Lisa, if you know that about yourself, why get into another relationship and expect somebody to do something? You have to figure it out yourself. Now, honey, let me tell you something. Mowing the grass, fixing my tire, and changing my light on my car, that's common sense. I can deal with you not making the same type of money. I can deal with me not living in the same neighborhood. I can deal with you putting your clothes on totally different, or how I fix your plate. Those things I can deal with. How you talk to me, I can deal with that. You may not handle me the same. I'm talking about little things. See, the little things can really break a relationship more than major.
I get what you're saying, because I had someone say to me that if I can't do it myself, I'll find somebody who can do it and get it done. And it has happened.
So question, when you say little things, what are little things to you? You know what I mean?
More in the grass.
Well, I thought you said, okay, I heard that part.
No, I'm
but
saying,
then you said
I'm
little
saying,
things, but like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what
more
else?
in the grass, you know.
Is it kissing my hand? Like, I'm saying stuff like the emotional, the intimate side. Like, is it kissing my hand, holding my hand? Let's go do stuff that ain't got nothing to do with money. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we're having those issues too.
Gotcha.
But those were like the things that I assume most men did.
Gotcha.
So there was never a conversation. Do you mow grass? Mm-hmm. Do you like changing the car? Do you know how to change oil, or do you know where to take it?
And all men don't, unfortunately. Or fortunate enough, they should change it.
But you're doing it to your car. So with that being said,
well, then that's a different ball game.
So what I'm saying is, I still had to step back and look at for me. Mm-hmm. I have those expectations. So when you don't do it, I get an attitude because I'm assuming from where I came from that that's what men do, and that's a bad perception to have.
Definitely say, because you still need to give that guy a chance to represent himself the way that he really can.
Because it's a learning thing for him too. He may not know how to do that kind of stuff, so you know he might not have had a good example being raised on how to do those kind of things. He may not be doing it for himself, but to have that conversation, that he open to learning those things and knowing. Okay, because, I mean, I'm just speaking from my own experience. I'm talking about, you know, a few years ago in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? So it was, he didn't know how to change the oil. Okay, so you go somewhere and you find out how to do it. But admit that and say, I don't really know how to do it, but I'll figure out how to do it.
I would be okay with that if he didn't do it to his own car. Yeah. That's my problem.
That's a different ballgame.
If you do it to your own car, but you're not doing it to mine, right, and I'm paying for the guy to cut the grass, that's an issue for me. Because you don't have to cut grass. You don't have to change oil. You don't have to get the tire fixed. Just get it done. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. So, again, it goes back to my old friend, Dakisha. She said it's not about A and B through Y. It's A and Z. It's the beginning and the end. Mm-hmm. And I truly have held on to that because everybody does not, and I had to learn this owning my own business. My vision of my business is not everybody else's. I could lay it out all day. I can give you an outline of how I want it done, but tweak it to your own. And I had to learn, as long as they get it done, then it's okay. They can't do it the way I want it done. And that's a hard thing for people to understand.
Absolutely.
That just because you move this phone back and forth this way, it don't have to be moved like that all the time. Mm-hmm. It can go up and down also.
Absolutely.
But as long as it's moved every 4 seconds, what difference do it make which way it goes?
And that's one of the hardest things is people to learn. What you think and how you react is not how other people think and react.
Yeah. It's funny because
the results are the same.
It's funny. I saw, actually, I had wrote something like that a while back. It says, don't expect you and others.
That's right.
Yes.
Don't expect yourself.
That's it right there.
Into somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's really that's
because everybody made different.
That's it. You know,
everybody's made different.
Yeah, everybody's made different. It's not a one size fit all.
Yeah.
You know, to any relationship and everything. Everybody got their own, differences and ways they.
God didn't make us that way.
Someone said common sense is not common to everybody. That is so true.
That's so
Kenyatta says, Did you know that about the person before you get into a relationship? No, I didn't. Because believe me, I wouldn't have got it.
Reggie, ready for this word of the day?
Let's get on to this word.
This is word.
That's my truth for today.
That's her truth. Her truth is for today.
Now let me zip it up.
All right,
pow, pow.
That's why I'm a Scorpio.
This is something that I, it's gonna be real quick and easy. I don't really have a long and drawn out altar call, this time because I really been,
trust the trainer,
getting off in the trust the trainer. But so as you trust the trainer, you are presented with two choices daily: you evolve or you repeat.
Oh,
you evolve or you repeat. You can evolve from your circumstances, or you can repeat the same circumstances. You can repeat the cycle or break the cycle. You have to realize that life is always about choices, so you have to make the choice to practice great habits. Make the choice to practice great habits. So you realize that your thoughts your words, your feelings, your actions determine your own worth. Think about this phrase, and I might have to patent this, but think about this phrase. Control, Alt, Delete. Control, Alt, Delete. If you got a computer, don't Control, Alt, Delete because you might cut us off. So Control, Alt, Delete. Control yourself, alter your thoughts, and delete negativity.
That's good stuff.
You have two choices. You have two choices to control your mind or let your mind control you. You are in control of what success means to you. You are in control of what success means to you. And that is my word for today.
Good word.
Y'all check your feet.
Good one, Reggie.
Your toes still there because he just stepped all on him.
I know. That's why I was like, shots fired. I've got two black eyes over here. It's like, good Lord. I was like, okay, he coming out. Pow, pow, bang, bang. Well, then there it is. But Lisa got her eyelashes on, y'all.
I didn't cry this time.
Man,
no, I'm growing up
today. We sure hope y'all enjoyed this topic, y'all. I mean, this is a serious topic that we all have been through in some shape or form or fashion. We hope that this can kind of help you recognize where you are, because that's the main thing is for you to recognize where you are and then have courage to exit. Please have courage to exit, y'all, because you don't want to be in something that's going to actually kill yourself in the long run. Or somebody. I mean that's just kind of the reality. You're killing yourself internal. You're killing yourself spiritually, and you might be killing, the person that you actually bringing up as far as your kids.
My pastor said something to me. He said, "Lisa, I don't know. Y'all know I was sick. My heart. Then I got sick again. Then I got sciatica nerve, my finger, and he came over and he said, Lisa, you're killing yourself." He said, because you're internalizing all this toxic, you're internalizing all this pain and all this expectation and this disappointment, and it's trying to come out. And what other way for it to come out but through infection and through sickness? And until you let it out and realize that you're in control of yourself, you're never going to get better. And I think that goes with women's health with the depression. We have to recognize whether we're toxic or they're toxic, the relationship is toxic, and get out of it and take care of yourself. That's the hardest thing. And I told someone I was talking to today is being selfish for yourself.
Yeah.
Taking care. We all, not just women, men too. Y'all take on so many roles, so many emotions, and the weight of the world, the weight of family, the weight of kids, the weight of cousins and aunties, that we sort of put y'all on the back burner sometimes because we feel like y'all strong enough, but y'all take on a lot of stuff too. And I think we just need to, as human beings, be more cautious of being selfish and take care of ourselves.
Self-care.
Self-care
is major. All right, y'all. Again, we want to thank y'all for tuning in to the full 180 Convo. We're going to wrap it up with our last word of the night. Dr. Breezy, go on and bring it home.
Oh, man, it was a wonderful night. I just want to say that I am tired, boss. I partied all weekend. And then I was asleep by 7 o'clock yesterday. 7:30, but I was like, man, I just really got old overnight. But I enjoy myself. I love y'all. I just want to say I appreciate all of y'all, all the wishes, all the love, and I will definitely keep all y'all in my prayers, and that's it.
Miss KC?
It's my turn.
It's your turn, Elder.
So, continued prayers for our beloved DJ Tricky and the Harrington family. Let's just keep them lifted up. I was thinking about something while we were talking, and I know a lot of people get in their head when it comes to relationships, and I believe sometimes getting in your head caused a toxic relationship. So sometimes you have to step back, because you said the word assume. I believe Lisa said assumptions, and assumptions are making toxic relationships. You have to just deal with you. That's why I said if you deal with you internally, externally you're able to give some of the best parts of you. So to everybody that's tuned in, and thank you all. I love the crew. They get on my nerves, and I love them all at the same time. We text all day.
All day.
Reggie and Uncle Charles and his TikTok y'all. But we have but we have really formed a relationship with each other. So while you guys are listening to us, just if you could for us, those that are listening and watching, keep us in your prayers because God is really doing big things and we don't want to fail him at the end of the day. So we love you all. Thank you for tuning in, and it's on to you, L Boogie.
What's up, y'all? So today I took a long, strong look at myself and I realized that I have some work to do for myself. I did. And I want to thank my friend Coca-Licious. She told me to take the day for myself today, and I did. And I rode around. I thrift. I drank water. I didn't even get tea today. And I just listened to myself internally, my thoughts. I analyzed it, and I realized that I need to work on me. And I need to accept that my life is not what I expected it to be at this age. And I was angry, and I'm still mad. So I need to work on that. God ministered to me today, and I did listen. And I'm going to take this time that I got for myself, and I am going to stop doubting myself because I do doubt myself a lot.
Indeed.
And let me tell you, when God started ministering to me, he played a song today on the radio, and I feel like he did. I've never listened to this song, but I've listened to it by Mary J. Blige, Doubt. I want every woman out there this week to listen to that song. We do this. And she said it best. I lost a lot of friends, and I paid the cost for it. But I'm here, and I'm on the top. And when you can get to that place to where you're on the top, I'm pretty sure it's going to feel really good. I thought I was there, but I am climbing the ladder. And Greg said something to me the other day. He said, Lisa, you cannot allow what you're going through to stop your success. Sure. And to push back the things that's going on. So if y'all don't do anything this week, take some time for yourself. It is Women's Month. Put the kids to bed, pour you some wine, put on your favorite jam, and turn your phone off. And do you this week.
They can do it
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mr. the AKA Russell Simmons of the group DJ Legends.
What's up?
Indeed. No, but great show. It made me think about a lot of things that we all talked about that I actually kind of went through. And again, I'm happy where I'm at. Actually, it made me stronger. And again, I thank you, the person that did this to me. But hey, I love y'all. I love my crew. Again, love my brother. Yeah. You know, we all in this together. Again, like I said the other day, we ride together, we die together. You know what I'm saying?
Life.
Again, God bless you. Good night. Oh yeah, I gotta say something, Lisa. No, I'm not going nowhere after the show. I just like wearing polo.
Cause she be getting on you, boy. She that's my sister Lisa. She be getting on Charles all the time. We want to thank y'all again for tuning in to the Full 180, man. Brought to you by Mo Music, Mo Radio. Hey, success is not an accident. No. It's a choice. Mm-hmm. Choose to be successful, y'all. Choose to be successful in your own life. Choose to be successful in all you do. And we just want to thank y'all for tuning in. We be back. We on this thing Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 o'clock. Tell the people. Share the word. Share it to the world and tell the people so we can be broadcast even more places and have more opportunities. So we want to thank y'all again, and we out. Peace.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. How I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Ooh. When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, yeah, yeah. Then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I was asleep, he left $1 under my sheet. Never dreamed that he would be gone from me. If I could steal one final glance, one final step, one final dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. 'Cause I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Sometimes I'd listen outside her door, and I'd hear how my mother cried for him. I pray for her even more than me. I pray for her even more than me. I know I'm praying for much too much, but could you send back the only man she loved? I know you don't do it usually, but dear Lord, she's dying to dance with my father again. Every night I fall asleep, and this is all I ever dream.
Do you have an event and you really want to set your event apart from others? Call Chef Lisa at Elite Treat. Chef L has been catering and preparing pastries since 2003. Being self-taught, she has dedicated herself to learning the tastes and textures of food, from soul food to Cajun to good old home cooking. Chef L takes pride in seeing her clients' faces light up when they taste the food and the comfort it brings. Don't delay. Book Chef L today. You can reach out to Chef Lisa on IG at Elite Treat. That's ELITE_TREETZ. Once again, that's ELITE_TREETZ. Contact her today and make your special event elite.
Mo Music Mo Radio.